Okay, everybody, I think we're good to get started here. So thank you for joining us this morning or afternoon or evening, whatever it happens to be where you are. So just a couple of things here. One, you're looking at the moment at Lumen5 videos that we've made or the companies have made. So this is sort of a sampling of the kind of thing you'll get to do once you really get invested in Lumen5. Denny, you're saying you can't see or hear anything. Can you hear me now? Oh no. Try refreshing your browser. I love that everybody is saying where they're currently located. We are located in Vancouver, Canada. It is also very sunny and very weirdly hot here today. I think it's about 32 degrees, which is over 90 degrees Fahrenheit, which for Canada is pretty darn hot. For anybody who's having trouble connecting, I'm really sorry about that. If you can try from another web browser, that might help. From another web browser. Good. Okay. I feel like this whole live chat thing is going to get pretty wild, so we'll see how this goes. Okay, so I'm just going to do one thing here. I'm going to turn on. Whoa, that's very bright. 1 second. There we go. Hey, okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Kagan. I do growth and community here at Lumen5. My job is to help as many people as possible make great videos with our product. So that's sort of the point of this webinar today. I want to go over, how you can go from just having like a blog post to having a great video that you can share. Really great initiative. It is a great initiative. Thank you, Julie. So just 1 second here. I'm going to pull up some slides. This is our first time using this Demio product, and it's pretty slick, I gotta say. Okay, there are the slides. All right, so let's jump right in. Why video? Obviously, it's a lot easier just to write something up and post that on Facebook or post that on Twitter. Why bother with video? Well, at this point, online video is making up over 80% of internet traffic, which is incredible. 59% of executives, those are people that you usually want to target with your brand, would rather watch a video. And people retain 90% of a video message versus 10% when reading. So videos are going to do a lot better job of getting people to take in your message. And many social networks are starting to prioritize video content. So what that means is if you post a video, the social network is going to show that to more people than if you were to just post text. So why aren't companies doing video? I mean, some are, some aren't. Why aren't people making the plunge? The big reason is that it's just so new. It's time consuming, it's labor intensive, it's expensive. All this online video stuff, especially short video clips that you put on social media, have sort of come about in the past couple of years. And a lot of companies are struggling to adapt to that. Now, this may not come as a surprise to you, but that's where Lumen5 comes in. We're trying to take a process that would typically take a day or more in, say something like Adobe Premiere or Final Cut Pro, and make it possible to make a video in 5, 10, 30 minutes max. So I just want to touch on a couple of testimonials here. These are things that have come in over the past few weeks that I thought were really great and I wanted to share with you. By using Lumen5, we've increased our Facebook page engagements by 448%. That is a very large and very specific number, which I like, and they've boosted their page reach dramatically. Another little testimonial here. I made a video with Lumen5 about a week ago and turned it into a Facebook ad, which has been my best ad ever and has 10x'd my business on Shopify and doubled my business on Amazon. That's crazy. Steve, you just asked, will this be recorded and available for download later? Yes, that it will be available. We'll send out a link afterwards. So you may have seen some of these brands at the beginning. These are some of the companies that use Lumen5. You may not be a multinational corporation. That's fine. We have tons of small companies and small brands and even just, everyday folks who are using Lumen5 to make videos. And that's what we're going to focus on today. So I thought about doing this webinar and I thought, man, okay, I could take like a CNN article or a Fox article or something and make a video from that. But that's not very fun and engaging. I wanted to make a video out of something that I care about. So I'm a bit of a foodie. I like to cook. I like to cook and post pictures online. Sometimes people go check out those pictures. I have 1,000 followers. It's not that much. I thought it would be more fun, though, to take one of my own blog posts and make a Lumen5 video from that. So that's what we're going to do. So let's jump right in. So just give me a moment here. I'm going to get my screen sharing set up. There we go. We'll turn off my video for now. I'll be back later. Don't worry. Awesome. All right. So some of you have undoubtedly already made one or more Lumen5 videos at this point, so you may be familiar with this dashboard that we're looking at here. But what we have when we log in, actually, let's go back one step. Let's go back right to Lumen5. How many drafts can you have at any time? Richard, you can have as many drafts as you want. We do not limit you in that regard. So once you reach Lumen5, you go to the website, click go to the dashboard here. And Richard just asked about this. You can have as many drafts as you want. So these are videos that are in the process of being made, but you haven't published them yet. We also have our recent videos here. These are the ones that we have published. And then we got a couple of things on the left-hand side here. I want to show you instant videos really quick. So if you have a blog or a company website where you often post new content, you can add that to the instant videos page. Anytime you post new content, we will automatically generate a Lumen5 video. We'll email you to let you know. And you can log in to either download it or make some changes to it and then download it. Really, really great. The second thing I want to show you before we dive into making a video are brand presets. So when you make a Lumen5 video, sorry, one sec here. When you make a Lumen5 video, we give you some themes to choose from. However, if you noticed at the very beginning when we were looking at those videos from big companies, you know, the Starbucks video looked like a Starbucks video. The McDonald's video looked like a McDonald's video. If you have a very specific brand identity, you can add that here. And then when you start your Lumen5 video, it'll already look like your brand. You don't have to go in and change the highlight color or change the background color or change the font color every time. It makes it really, really easy to jump into a video without having to make all those changes. So we're going to dive into making a video. So as I mentioned, the best way to make a Lumen5 video is from a blog post. I have a blog post that I've made here. I've made a blog post on my own blog called Kagan's Kitchen. I've never posted anything before. This is my very first entry, and it's how to make tagliatelle. So you can see I've got some text here. I've got some pictures. Kind of takes you through the whole process. Pretty engaging. But if I wanted to share this on my Instagram, a video is going to perform a whole lot better. I see some questions in the chat about the free version versus the paid version. We are going to cover features that are on both the free version and the paid version. I will try my best to point out which are which, but if I forget, please forgive me. If you have any questions about what's available and what plan, I can answer those at the end. Marco, you don't need to put a lot of pictures in your blog post, and I'll show you why. Let's jump in, and you'll see. Okay. So first thing we ask you is, what video format do you want to do? You can do the traditional landscape. That's sort of like your widescreen TV format. You can do square videos. These are great because they will take up more space on a person's device. So you can see that it's taking up more vertical space, so it's more likely to catch their attention. So this is really good for Facebook and Instagram. And then vertical videos are fantastic for Instagram stories, Instagram TV, and Snapchat. Yeah, the vertical videos are great. Hey, Gene, I've actually been using them on my, my own Instagram. I'm going to show you that in a little bit. We're going to do a square video, though. And as I mentioned before, you can choose one of our really, really beautiful themes here, or you can use your brand preset. We're going to use the Kagan's Kitchen brand reset. Good point, Tanya. Yes, landscape is the only version available in the free version. You do need a pro plan to get the square or the vertical videos So I just want to circle back to something Marco said. Marco said, we need to put lots of pics on our blogs to make it ready for Lumen 5. Yes, that is helpful, but we also have a huge media library of content that we can pull from. So you see, I've added my blog post here, and Lumen 5 has already used our machine learning and AI technology to go in, figure out what the blog post is about, and add a bunch of content that fits it. This actually blew my mind the first time I saw it do this. So at one point in my blog post, it says, add the eggs, whisk into the well. So it's like a well of flour, and then slowly incorporate flour into the eggs. It found a picture of that exact thing. Like, how cool is that? I didn't do any of this. This was automatically generated. At the bit where it's talking about running the dough through the pasta machine, it brought in not just a picture, it brought in a video of that happening. Like, that's crazy. No human intervention here. This is entirely driven by machine learning. So, oh yeah, this is the last one that I thought was really cool too. Add to salted boiling water. There's salt being added to boiling water. Yes, it's alien technology, Tanya. You are correct. It's just really, really smart. So what this shows you is that, you know, if I wanted to, I could say, yeah, this looks great, finish, publish, share it, and I'd have a pretty darn good looking video. But we want to take it a step further, right? I have some of my own content I want to use in here. I also want to share my video on Instagram, and I need to make it a little bit shorter. So let's change the speed to fast. So that's 1 minute and 12 seconds. We actually need to get this down to below 1 minute to be able to share on Instagram. So we'll delete some slides as we go along here. All right. So for folks talking about wanting to upgrade to the Pro plan, sneak peek, there's a discount code at the end of the webinar if you do want to upgrade. I'm not going to tell you what it is now. I'm going to save that surprise for later. Okay, so let's start putting in some additional media. So if you click into media, we'll show you two things. One, we'll show you a lot of the recommendations, some of which are already in our automatically generated video. We'll also bring in video images that are from the article. And I can click here to show more. So here's a nice picture of the pasta. Let's put that in here. You see how easy that is, right? You just have to drag it over. And now, did anybody notice that? Here, okay, let me just do this again. When I drag it in, the text moves. Let's drag in a different picture. So what's happening here is our AI tech will scan the picture or the video that you put in, figure out where the most empty space is, and move the text there automatically. Daniel just said, wow, again, right? Isn't that cool? Terry, yes, this will be available later. You can watch it later. Now, if our AI gets it wrong or you want to move it around, that's totally fine. You can click on text position here and you can move it to wherever you want to have it. But we're trying to remove a lot of the extra work for you and just basically make good design decisions for you. Really cool. But yeah, let's drag a few more images in here. Let's do that one. I'm also going to delete a few slides because, again, we need to get this to under 1 minute to be able to post it later. All right. Egg yolks, 2 eggs. Okay, let's put that picture in there. Mound of flour. Yeah, you just drag your pictures in. Super easy. Penny just asked, can you have 2 images side by side of the same block? No, we don't have that built in, but that's a great idea. If you have your own image editing software that you can use, you could create that essentially as a single image and import that into Lumen 5. I'll show you how to upload stuff in a second. Where does it show the projected time at the end of the video in the build phase? If you scroll up to the top here, you can see we've actually got in under 1 minute now, which is really good. So pictures are well and good, but there are some parts of this, making pasta thing that would be a little more instructional if we had video. And fortunately, I actually took some video while I was making this pasta. So we can add that to our Lumen 5 video as well. So at this point in the process where it says add eggs, whisk in well, incorporate, this is a really nice image, but I actually have a video of this. And let's move the text down here. And let's preview it. Tanya, you bring up a good point. If I want to change the instructions here, so say I want to, I don't like what it pulled in from the article, I could say add eggs to well, slowly incorporate, preview it. There we go. We've changed it. I don't know if anybody's noticed, there are these kind of indented images here, right? So we've got this one and then this other one that's indented. I want to show you how to make that. What that allows you to do is to take your text and spread it across the same slide at different times. You'll see in a second. So add eggs to well, slowly incorporate, enter, mix until dough forms. And then now when we preview it, you see it'll show one chunk of text and then the other chunk of text without changing the background image. Yes, Marco, correct. You press enter to indent a slide. And if you decide, so say I make a new slide here and we put some stuff in there and I go, you know what? I don't want this slide anymore. The way to get rid of it is just press delete until it goes away. And yes, so if you want to, if you're finding that you can't read your text, then that means you probably want to update your style. It could be that like the text background you're using is not a good color or you're using colors that are too close together. So that's just something to keep in mind. You can also choose what text to highlight with your highlight color. So say I want to highlight the word eggs. I can highlight that with my cursor, click this highlight button, and then that'll use my highlight color. So if you want to draw attention to particular words, you can do that this way. So let's just jump in. I want to add a few more. I've got a few more videos. I want to add that to my Lumen5 video here. So here's one of me rolling the pasta. I'm going to get rid of these two. And then here's another one. Flour the dough, fold it over itself, and cut into thick tagliatelle. So I have one for that as well. I did have one for that, didn't I? Is it that one? Oh, it's this one. There we go. We're going to drag that in. Add to salted boiling water. I've got another video for that. I've got another one of finishing the noodles in the sauce. And then the final one here, plate and finish with olive oil and Parmesan. I'm just going to go and grab a picture of the finished dish here, and we'll put that on. Penny says I'm making her hungry. I'm hungry too, you guys. I have lunch right after this, actually. Next time I'll make less good-looking food. I'll make, I don't know, like, I can't think of anything that's not tasty at this point. So that all happened really fast, but we went from having a pretty good video to a really good video in like 5 minutes. A couple of other things that we can do. Say we want to set the place. I'm saying cooking in Italian or cooking Italian, how to make tagliatelle. Let's see if we can find something that represents Italy. So I'm just searching through our media library here. There we go. An Italian flag. That should work pretty darn well. Milan, I promise I'll play the final product when we're done. Don't worry. We'll get to see how this all looks. Now, if you're going to be sharing this on social media, we might want to add a little bit more fun stuff to it, something a little bit goofier. So we can add GIFs. We have this huge library. And for some reason, Lumen5, when I go in here, I don't know if it does this for you guys too, or if it's just learned me, it shows nothing but puppies and maybe a few kittens. Not really applicable to pasta. So let's do some searches. What is this one? This is like Robert Downey Jr. talking about something here. Okay, so I want to put in a couple of these GIFs. I like all the slides I have now. I don't want to replace them. If we want to make a new blank slide and we want to put it in between ones you already have, you can hit this little plus button here. Oh yeah, oh, it already did it for me. Okay, now in this case, this GIF already has a bit of text along the bottom, so I don't want to have my own text. I can go into the text drop down here and choose no text. Diane, I know you don't like GIFs. I won't blame you if you turn off the webinar right now. Just come back in like 5 minutes. I'll be done, I promise. So in this case, we got Robert Downey Jr. here saying, I want to eat pasta. I don't care if I'm puffy tomorrow. We can play that. I think this fits in really nicely, despite what Diane says. Daniel, you brought up a really good point. So all the images and video in the media library are copyright free. Yes, for the most part. So all of the stuff in the library you can use. We've paid the licensing on that. The GIFs, however, some of these are going to draw from copyrighted content, right? So like, I don't know, maybe Robert Downey Jr. really doesn't want us using this GIF. He could technically own it. So in that case, here, if you click info here, it opens a help article that explains it. These GIFs are licensed for non-commercial use. So if you're using this in an ad, you probably can't get away with it. So just keep that in mind when using GIFs. I'm just making a fun video here, so I'm safe. I want to add one more GIF. So we're going to put this at the end. This seems perfect. Let's watch that. Yes, that is exactly what I think everybody wants to do to this pasta right now. So isn't that perfect? For watching. You rock. There we go. Okay. So let's see, what do we got here? We've got some of our like kind of setting the place footage here. We've got a couple of fun GIFs. We've got some images from the blog, and we've got some of the video that I made as well. So I think we have a pretty darn good looking video here. A couple of other things you might want to do. One, we can choose background music. So all of these tracks are licensed for use. So we've paid the licensing on them, or they're just so old that nobody owns it anymore. You could get trapped in here for hours. Oh geez, that's very loud. So you can go through and you can also search by mood. So if I wanted to have the saddest recipe video ever, I could. Oh man, it kind of ruins the vibe of the thing, right? Well, I'm just gonna choose any old audio clip here. So we're gonna put that in. Now you can also upload your own music. Please make sure you're not uploading copyrighted content. If you upload copyrighted content and you add it to YouTube or Instagram, they're probably going to detect it. They're probably gonna reject the video, and you might even get punished on that platform. So please be careful. Julie, can you upload clips that have sound, someone talking, use that? Yes, but it makes it really hard to like get the talking to line up with what the Lumen5 video shows. We are planning on adding some like voiceover narration features in the next little bit, so stay tuned for that. Are there more and better choices for music in the paid version? Oh, I gotta remember. I think yes, I think there are some more options in paid versus free. So last thing, we're not going to touch the styling too much because, you know, we're already using that brand preset that I made earlier. But if I wanted to, I could go in and with very little effort, change the entire look and feel of the video just by updating the theme. Sophia, who's in the chat with you, actually designed all these themes. So if you like these themes, you should say thank you to her. Okay. All right, I think we're good here. I like this video. We all happy? It's under a minute. Actually, it's just barely under a minute. Let's take out one thing because I'm afraid that it won't. There we go. That should be fine. Okay. Hold on, I'm gonna mute. Okay, so when you go to finish, you'll get a preview of your video here so we can skip through it and make sure that we like it. At this point, you also get to choose what resolution you want to export in. So if you're on the free plan, it's only going to be 480p. If you have the pro plan, you can do 720p. If you're on the business plan, you can do 1080p. Cool? Also, if you're on a paid plan, you can get rid of all the Lumen5 branding. Denny, are you asking the difference between the resolutions? It's just higher quality, right? So the 1080p video is going to look a heck of a lot better on your YouTube channel than a 480p video would. So once you start rendering your video, it can take anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes, sometimes a little longer, depending on how much stuff it is in it. We're going to use a little TV magic. You know when you watch a cooking show and they put something in the oven and then they just take out the finished product? We're going to do that. I don't want to make you guys wait 15 minutes to see the video. So I have another version that I made earlier right here. So this is what you'll get once you've rendered and exported the video. So we can watch it. Looks pretty darn good. You can see the one I made earlier was a little bit different than the one we ended up making, but it's pretty darn close. And from here, if you want to share it to Facebook, it's just one click. So we can upload it to my Facebook page. We can add it to the Lumen5 page. We can add it to one of my fake Facebook pages that I use for testing. You can add a title. You can add a caption, and you're done. Now, Facebook is not the only place where you might want to add your video. So you can download it. I want to post my video on Instagram. So the first step you have to take here is you have to get the video from your computer onto your phone. I find the easiest way to do that is if you have Dropbox or Google Drive, add the video to Dropbox or Google Drive, and then you can just download it on your phone. Cool? That makes sense? All right. We are going to change gears here to my phone. Say hello. We can say hello to each other. Why is it so bright? There we go. Okay. Thank you, Denny. I appreciate that. So we've made this really cool Lumen5 video. This is my actual Facebook, or sorry, my actual Instagram. These are all my Instagram posts. You can see I post a lot of pictures of food. I actually went ahead and posted the video I made yesterday. And actually, I thought I was really clever for doing this. So when you post something on Instagram, you can choose what you want the cover image to be. So that's what shows up in the feed. So I made what shows up the picture of the final product, so it looks like the rest of my Instagram posts. And when you click into it, then you get to watch the video. Kind of cool, hey? There we go. Now, I like your video of eating. I'm curious about it. Thank you, Cynthia. One thing that I mentioned at the start is that you can make vertical videos in Lumen5, and those are really great for Instagram. One way that you can try to draw more attention to your Instagram posts is by using a story to tell people to go to your profile. So I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So I made, where is it? An 8-second Lumen5 video, extremely short. Here, I'm going to get rid of this. I made it yesterday, so there. Can you guys all see that? So this is just a really short video that I'm going to put on my Instagram story, and that's telling people to, hey, if you want to learn how to make tagliatelle, go to my Instagram feed. And I can just click and add that to my story. Easy as that. So you can see that Lumen5 helps you make all kinds of great videos for both your Instagram feed, your Instagram story, your Snapchat, your Facebook, everything. So Kathy's asking, what is the maximum length of a Lumen5 video? We do not limit the overall length of the video. However, you are limited to 40 slides. That makes sense? So that may limit you to a few minutes. That being said, people's attention span these days is very, very short. You don't want your Lumen5 video generally to be more than a minute or two long. Denny, you're asking, how did I get it on Instagram? I can actually demo that. So on, I got the video onto my phone, right, using Dropbox. Thank you for following me. That's what this was all for, Marco. I'm just trying to get more people to follow my Instagram. So yeah, you can go add a new post. You can see I've got my Lumen5 video here. Next. Write a caption. Check it out. Add a location, and then I could share it. Cool? All right, so I'm just gonna jump into a couple of little closing slides here, and then we'll do questions. So first of all, thank you for attending. We're at about the 30-minute mark, which is where I wanted to be. I didn't want to spend too much time in Lumen5. The whole idea is that you can make a video in a short amount of time, right? So I think we, from beginning to end here, did this in like 20, 25 minutes, which is pretty crazy.